Peace and blessings. Welcome back to our channel, our work in progress on Kato. His coloring is coming in ever so lovely. We got that deep chocolate skin tone with some of the variation, that nice blend, and we have his face highlighted with our nutmeg color. So he is really truly coming along beautifully. You can see his ears have that deep tone. He is really coming along nicely. I am very, very pleased. I think what I will do is a few more layers of the nutmeg in the mid face just to kind of even it out. And of course, some additional work on the lips. But he is really coming along quite nicely. And I would like to show you his limbs. How beautiful, beautiful they are coming along. So we'll be working on, he's not finished yet, but I'm very pleased with his coloring. Very, very pleased. This is what I was hoping for. So he looks very nice, very nice. Very much pleased. I'm still working on him. He's not finished. So, but he is coming along ever so nicely. Ever so nicely. So I am definitely pleased with the way Kato is coming along. I am very happy. I was thinking about making our beautiful honey a vitiligo baby. So I'm kind of betwixt and between. But I think I'm settling on um, maybe not making her vitiligo. Make another baby with vitiligo. Um, Betwixt and between. But she is coming along nicely. I haven't done much else with her. I just did some of the modeling, one base foundation layer on her. We did that together in her series. So, yes. So, I have to really decide on what I will be doing with her. I say that the kit speaks and tells me what it would like. So we will see what honey will tell me. Now I would like to do some, I guess it's some shadow or some deeper pigmentation. That's what I want to say. Some deeper pigmentation. And we oftentimes see that around the elbow. So what I'm doing is I'm going very strategically around on the elbow with the same burnt umber. However, since I'm putting an additional layer here, this portion will in fact have that a deeper tone. So we will see a little bit of that deeper tone on the elbow, the knees, and the knuckles of the fingers. I'm hoping that this will give us that color. that deeper color. Now it's going to take more than one application, but it is definitely possible. So, let's see if you can see. We're going in a little bit here, right there, on the knuckle area, because we know that we do see that in the in the babies with the melanin, with deeper melanin, we see that. So we're gonna see if we can get that deeper color there. I'm hoping that we can get that with just using this deeper, the same burnt umber, but since I'm going to put, maybe 3 layers just over the knuckle area, maybe that will give us that deeper tone, that added color. And of course, we're just bouncing it out. I don't know if you can see it a little bit. Well, you can see it looks a little wet. So that's where we are. That's where we're making and putting that additional color there. Now it's not a crease. It just happens to be that deeper color that is usually at the bend of the fingers, the bend of the toes. Certain places it's a little bit darker. Even sometimes a little bit here, like on the hands, we may see a little deeper color, there too. So we just kind of blend that out. So we did the elbow, we did the bends of the fingers and thumb, and a little bit around the knuckles of the hand. We're gonna do the other hand now, just to get that deeper color. Yet again, let's mix the burnt umber. Remember, this burnt umber I mixed also with a small amount of black and with just a little bit of yellow ochre. And so we are just trying to see if we can get those areas, the knuckle areas, if we can get them a little bit deeper, because we do see. Okay. We're gonna see if this is going to work. Hopefully it will. Hopefully it will. And the elbow area. Everything is about creating depth, shadow, and light. Highlights, shadows, and depth. It's good to have a reference picture. You can, look at maybe yourself or your children or your grandchildren or a neighbor, or go on the internet, you can Google it, and you can find all types of images so you can see where some of the shading and everything would look a bit realistic. Um, because that's what you want. You want that realism. And remember, we don't want any harsh lines. Everything should be nicely blended. Nicely blended. So that's what we are striving for. So we did both arms, and we are going to do the knees, and off camera I will go ahead and I will do the toes because I don't want to make this video too long. These are just some little additional little colorings that I think, and we know that with, usually this deeper color is maybe around toward the bottom of the knee, and just gonna kind of blend that out a little bit. It's not necessarily directly on the patella, which is the kneecap, but maybe just slightly below it. You see that, see some of that color, deeper color. I don't know if you can see, I think you can see it just a little bit. And we are going to deepen up the toes and have some more work to do on the foot to have to even out some of that coloring there. We will get that done. And again, just a little bit more on the toes to try to get some of that color. So I hope you have been watching the series from part 1 and that you continue watching so that you can see all of the bit of changes and different things that will be going on with the kit with our Kato. We are putting some darker coloring in here too. Some of it is around where the creases are, but it's not just like the creases. It's different parts of the baby where you would see some darker pigmentation around the ankles, sometimes the wrist, the toes, and on the fingers where we darkened it a little bit. We always remember that we're pouncing, so that pouncing helps to remove excess paint, and it also blends because we don't want harsh lines. We don't want any real lines of demarcation. We just want things to just kind of melt into one another. That's what we want the colors to just kind of nicely feather out and blend. Again, I do have to put some coloring here, some more coloring here on the heel, the sole of the foot. Well, not the sole of the foot, but the lateral part of the foot. And so that's what we'll be doing. And sometimes you also see a little deeper color around where the diaper would go on the legs. Sometimes you see that. Um, so you can see a little bit of the dark coloring, a little bit of that deeper coloring. So we will, and I think I want to put a little bit back here behind the leg, behind the knee, just a little bit more. And we will do some, go back in with the creasing a little bit. I do like the creasing to kind of blend in nicely with the skin, not anything too dark, just to kind of look very, very natural. Not something that jumps out and says, "Hey, I'm a crease." you know, I like the subtlety. I like some subtlety. But then there are some creases that you know you, that when they are deeper in color, it's really helps to add to that realism factor. So we see here, and we are gonna do some more coloring on the toenails, on the toes, the toes. We'll be doing that. Remember, we have the foundation layer colors on there, and just a little bit. So we don't want it to be, we want it to be, have a little bit, maybe one more coat of our nutmeg to give us a little bit more color. And then we'll go in with a plumish type color. I'll go in, I will show you what it is, what the colors that I mean. We are now going to do a little bit with the nail bed. We're going to take our eyelid purple and we're going to go over the nails just a little bit. I'm going to try to see if I can get a close view so that you would be able to see what I'm doing. I'm going to try if I can get clean off my brush here. I want to use a fine brush. So that, because as we know, the nail beds are small anyway, and we want to go in part way with our eyelid purple. I'm going to try to see if I can get in here where you can see what I'm doing. Okay, I mixed my eyelid purple already. I have a little bit of, I don't know, a little sediment on the bottom here. Gonna mix it up a little bit more. And just gonna double check the color. Okay, we only want just a tiny bit of color. I'm gonna do the thumb where maybe, let's see if you can, I'm gonna try to see if I can get it here. I'm gonna try to go a little bit, let's see if you can see. don't know if you can see that, but there's a little line of the eyelid purple there. So just a little line. It's going to take more than one coat. So we're going to go again. We go kind of midway of the nail, because remember we will be doing a little bit of the tipping on the nail as well. Okay, tipping, not like a French manicure, but just a little bit. Let me see, maybe I didn't have enough on here for the thumb, because the index finger looks like it has a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. There we go. I didn't have enough on there. Okay. See the color there? I have to clean it up a little bit here. That kind of gives a little bit of the illusion of blood flow. And then we'll just kind of pat that a little bit. Okay. And we'll do that on all of the fingernails and the toenails. I think we will end the video here. I don't want it to be too long. I would encourage you to continue watching the videos, like, comment, subscribe, and share. I would like to know what you're thinking. You can add your comments in the comment section. It would be nice to hear what you might be thinking. Okay. Like I said, I'm not a videographer, so so it's kind of challenging for me to really get the the color of the video to try to show everything, because I'm just painting and doing the best I can to try to video it as well. What I will do is go across maybe 2 or 3 coats with this eyelid purple, so that it gives just a hint of color where it looks, let's see, I don't think you can see, but all of this this purple, eyelid purple color on the nail, I'm putting it kind of like right about in here, okay, just below where the nail, where the tip would be for the nail, okay. And then remember, we will do a little bit of a moon at the cuticle area, and we will tip the nail for to give it that last little bit of coloring. Now what I may do is I may go around and outline the nail again um, with maybe a um, little bit of color, a little bit. I may take this eyelid purple and kind of go around the base of the cuticle. Let's see, on the actual skin, well, what would be considered skin, because that will give a little bit of color as well. Let's see if you can see that. Let's see. So I'm gonna go across the base of the nail, the cuticle, the skin, like right there. Um, Although this is eyelid purple, it will give the illusion kind of like a blood flow, which is something that's good. And remember when I said I would outline the nails? I'm going to take this same eyelid purple and go at the tip ending of the nail. And that just kind of, that will outline the nail. So it will make our reborn nails look even, more realistic with a little bit of that outlining there and tipping, not tipping, the outlining of the nail. Even though we're using this eyelid purple color, this is a good color. You see? Then I'm going to pounce it out just a bit. And I'm going to do that on all of the nails. I'm going to go around the cuticle area and then square off the tip of the nail. Find that one was easier to do than any, and I thought that middle finger was going to be the hardest. However, it was a little bit easier than any of them thus far. So, yeah. So what I will be doing, these are some of the finishing. Well, we're not finished, but these are some of those details that add to the realism. This has to dry before I can go in with um, the moon at the base of the nail, and before I can do anything with the tipping. So, the cool thing about air dry paint is it dries, you know, pretty quickly, although it takes time for it to fully cure. It takes 24 to 72 hours for certain, for it to fully cure. So that waiting time, that goes into the overall time that it takes to create a reborn or to bring a reborn to life. It takes a bit of time because of the time it takes to cure. because there are certain things that you have to actually wait for the kit to cure before you can go to other steps, you know. As you can see, I'm bracing my finger on my finger so that I'm able to achieve a straight line. Okay, so that's at the, I don't know if you can see how it's, the nails are now highlighted. I don't know, I'm going to put the other hand. I don't know if you can see a difference. This one, the nails stand out because they are outlined. So they stand out and they have that eyelid purple. This one doesn't have that just yet. It looks good, but it doesn't have that on there. So we are going to do the other arm as well as the toes. I will do that off camera. And again, I would like for you to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Enjoy your day. Stay safe. Oh, let's give you a little bit of a look at Kato. Just a look before we close out. Um, Here's Kato. His mid face, I put a little bit of the nutmeg color on his mid face so you can see, he does have that highlight. And you can see the gradient of the various browns that we have applied. Uh, so you can kind of see some of the difference in color here. And let's see, and his ears, you can see the darkness there on his ears. Yes. So you can see the chocolatey. This is what the kit looks like before we did anything. And look at that beautiful chocolate complexion that we have built up. So again, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Enjoy your day. Be sure to come back again. Oh, and turn on your notifications so you know when I have uploaded additional videos or shorts. Take care.